Hi, my name is Caesar and welcome to Tips for Landlords and Property Managers brought to you by fastevic.com Law Group. Welcome to another Tips for Landlords and Property Managers video brought to you by fastevic.com. Today, we'll go over situations on when the landlord is responsible for tenant relocation fees under LARSO. Remember, the contents of this video is not to be used as legal advice. Please contact us for a free consultation. What is LARSO? LARSO stands for Los Angeles Rent Stabilization Ordinance. This ordinance applies to most properties in Los Angeles that were built on or before October 1st, 1978, as well as replacement property under LAMC Section 151.28. You can find links to important items discussed in this video in the description to read more. LARSO covers allowable rent increases, registration of rental units, legal reasons for eviction and types of eviction, which requires landlords to pay tenant relocation assistance. We'll be covering when the landlord is responsible for tenant relocation in this particular video. LARSO places evictions in two major categories: just cause evictions and no-fault evictions. Just cause basically means you can evict a tenant because of something the tenant did. Some examples include failure to pay rent, violation of lease agreements, causing unreasonable damage to the rental property, using the rental property for illegal purposes, and more. No-fault evictions are when a tenant is evicted at no fault of their own. These evictions usually happen as a result of a personal or a business decision made by the landlord. Landlords are subject to paying the tenant relocation assistance under the following circumstances. The landlord or family member wants to live in the rental property, wants to use the rental unit as resident manager housing, wants to remove the property from rental housing use or demolish the property, has been ordered by a governmental agency to vacate the building, is a residential hotel and wants to convert the building to another use. The property is owned by the federal government and wants to sell the property. The landlord wants to convert the property to affordable housing accommodations, which requires government agreements. There are three factors to consider when calculating how much the tenant is entitled for relocation assistance. We must consider if the tenant is considered eligible or qualified, how long they have lived on the property, and their income. A qualified tenant is someone who, as of the date written on the notice of termination, is either at least 62 years old, handicapped or disabled, or who has one or more minor dependent children. The amount qualified tenants are entitled to depend on these factors and their length of residency. If a tenant is not a qualified tenant, as I just explained, all others are considered eligible tenants, and the assistance amount is calculated based on their length of residency. The amount tenants are entitled to change every year. Please check the link in the description to see the most current amounts considering the three factors I just mentioned. Something important to consider: landlords must make the relocation assistance amount available to the tenant within 15 days of serving the written notice to move out. Landlords have the right to use an escrow account to facilitate the payment process. Do you have any experience with LARSO evictions and paying relocation assistance? We'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share if you found this video useful. We'll see you on the next one.